going on, Scorpio? It's Robin here with AriesFireTarot. Welcome, guys, to the channel. So, guys, it's time for your July 2020, and this is going to be a bonus read, which means I do something a little bit different. My monthly stuff is I do a monthly read, and then I do a wealth and abundance, and then I do the Starman tarot card reading, and then I find something completely different to do for your bonus read. So this one is, it's called Inner Demons. So it's going to look at like your shadow self and any darkness within you that can be maybe resolved to a certain degree so that, you might feel better. But anyway, I hope this is an interesting read. Using the Witches Tarot card deck to do this one for you. And it's a 5-card spread, and if I need to pull additional cards on top of that, that's what I'll do. So anyway, I'm just trying to shuffle this deck a couple more times before we get into it. All right, so we're going to look at, with the first card, Scorpio, your darkest aspect. Everybody has a dark side. Everybody has demons. It's nothing to be ashamed of. So let's see what's going on. Your darkest aspect. So we do have the 7 of Swords here. So this particular card always strikes me as being just a little bit on the creepy side, where, there's fragments left behind. It's just unfinished business and sort of, a self-interest here, which is human nature. But this was like kind of unnecessary is what I'm seeing here. There's paths that could have been taken that maybe wouldn't have been so hurtful to other people. That's a dark aspect, when there's just seeing a lack of attempt to resolve something and just sort of take off again in your own best interest. So I had a hard time talking that one out because, I don't want to insult you guys, but this is also to become aware of what can be worked on a little bit, because the next card says what area of your life is most affected by this aspect. So it is important to recognize that your darkness does affect your day-to-day life. So I'll do a deck cut here on that one. So we've got the Fool card and new beginnings, but if you're leaving unfinished business behind, and I'm getting the phrase, what goes around comes around, and sometimes the people that are left a little bit in your wake could be the people that would be able to assist you in the future. But, if you kind of just walked away and said, well, this works for me and I don't really care about what works for you, I'm going to go on ahead along my path. But that phrase, keep your friends close and keep your enemies closer. That's what I'm seeing here in this card, because you never know. You never know when the universe is going to put two people back together again to have to work together on something. Very interesting. So it's not like you have to become best friends with somebody that you no longer have any use for, but it's like just not saying anything and moving on. You're not saying, yeah, okay, well, that really made me angry and I probably don't want to talk to you for now, or saying something, closing the loop, you know what I mean? Instead of just ghosting somebody or just going, oh, well, whatever, you suck, and walking away. Because that's what I'm seeing here with the 7 of Swords. And then the Fool card wants to start over again, but the 7 of Swords energy is going, yeah, well, remember me? Huh. Well, I'm here to throw a wrench into that little party. So that's very interesting and probably great advice. So what is your inner demon here, Scorpio? You've got the 2 of Cups. So whether you're aware of it or not, these relationships that have maybe not come full term to closure or been, I'm just getting words like cut off at the pass, this haunts you. This haunts you. But then I see that it's also nothing being done about it. It's like trying to ignore it as it comes up, because you have the Two of Cups here. And this is all about relationships and just, you know, how close you feel to people. And this could keep you from getting close to new people. I think my dog might start barking. Just hold on. Well, I'll go on a pause. Sorry. Anyway, so yeah, like a really challenging time getting close to new people or healing what's been not really broken, but fractured. There's fractures in your past, and it's just, well, I'm done here. Oh, my work is done. I'll see you guys later. Catch you on the flip side. So it's really bothering some part of you on the inside that, like I said before, you might not be aware of. And it could be the reason why things just cut off for you so easily, you know, instead of just working a little bit harder to resolve an issue or ask the appropriate questions. You're like, I'm done, you know, and just walk away and lose somebody's phone number. So how do you understand the demon to accept and heal? So you do have the Hanged Man. There's a different way of looking at things. And this could be behavior learned from a parent or a sibling or whatever. They just didn't have the depth of, I'm getting the word character, or they just didn't know any better. That relationships can take bumps and spills, and you can part ways without being really angry at somebody and letting it affect you and pushing all that emotion down. We do have the Hanged Man here. So there's an opportunity to look at things from a different way. And honestly, with the Seven of Swords, I'm seeing for a lot of you that you're kind of possibly absolved yourself from any sort of wrongdoing in relationships and saying, well, that wasn't my fault, you know, that was your fault. But always part of you knows the truth, you know, and it does take two to show up for an argument. So I'm seeing just an opportunity here for you guys to really, really turn things around. And there's a raven here dangling a pentacle. So there is some sort of meaning here, in addition to the Hanged Man. Raven spirit animal, you want to look at that. There's a different form of abundance coming in if you were to change things and the way you looked at things, and maybe the way you operated your personal relationships to some degree. And again, I say all this with, you know, love. There's no judgment here, you guys. It's just the cards. They see things that you and I don't, right? So how can you overcome the demon and the darkness? You've got the King of Cups. So the King of Cups is a totally sensitive guy. You know, he got to where he is in life, and this is the energy that is available to you guys. By understanding people and not losing relationships over stupid arguments or something that was perceived. Because I think for many of you watching, some of these scenarios were perceived, or you took somebody else's, let's just say, gossip, and took it as gospel and kind of made decisions based off of what somebody else said about somebody else, and then cut somebody off dead. And this could be a repeated pattern, you know. So I see a lot of like bewilderment in these cards, but the King of Cups, he's much more nurturing, and he understands people, and he understands that not all people think the same way. And, you know, sometimes people say and do things in an incorrect or unacceptable way because that's what their lifestyle was like. So there is a lot of love here and openness, and just being able to sit back and kind of listen to other people's side of the story without dismissing them so quickly. So, you know, there's some relationships that can probably be healed for you. And when I say relationships, I mean friendships. It could be just even a a bad breakup going and getting closure or providing closure to that other person. There's opportunities here for really deep healing, and for yourself too. It'll make you feel a lot better, especially if this has been something that you've done multiple times, you know. So this is a difficult one, and you know, it could be a trauma response for you to some degree also, where you just don't want to get hurt anymore. So instead of trying to resolve something, as soon as you see that trigger, you're like, I'm out of here, right? So really, really interesting cards for you guys, and you might want to look up what the spirit animal raven means to you in your situation. And yeah, I see really big opportunities for healing and growth here, guys. So pretty interesting cards for you. So maybe let this one sink in, and then let me know what you think of the reading down below in the comments. And just sending love and many blessings. Okay, bye.